the conversation between what artifacts to level and all of that, and the availability of artifacts and all of that, the red tier essences, scrolls, and medals, compared to the only 5 patterns that we have, right? There's only 5: the armor, magic defense, physical attack, magic attack, and then the dodge reduction, and the 3 flags that we have access to. I think it's a very interesting, very nuanced discussion that you cannot. And the point I'm trying to make here is
it's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
I want to talk a little bit about the current event that we have active, Legacy of the Great Ones. Legacy of the Great Ones is a good event for Facebook and web players. Again, trying to level up their hero artifacts. The shop, very small. The best, most efficient buys from the shop, orange artifact chests. But I would say that you shouldn't buy them. I would say that you should buy the red artifacts. Even if you're not at a point where you need red artifacts, I would suggest that you buy red artifacts. Not only that, I would suggest you buy the artifact essences, all right? Artifact weapons tend to have the highest impact on a specific team lineup, a combo of heroes. Take, for example, the new hero, Polaris. Polaris has a magic penetration artifact. Magic penetration artifacts on a magey kind of hero, right? You want to put Polaris with a hero that has magic damage attacks, but not magic penetration. Most mages have magic penetration, and specifically I'm talking about Amira here. Amira is a support hero, not a mage. Well, she's subcategory mage, but her magic penetration overall is a little bit lower than pure mages, okay? So heroes like Amira that don't have a ton of magic penetration natively, you would add a hero with a magic penetration artifact to that team. A little while ago, I had a great team that I used on a different Facebook server. It was like Aurora, Celeste, Faceless, Leon, right? And all of those heroes had magic attack boosts with the exception of Aurora, who the point was to stack magic attack boosts, use Aurora to use her ultimate ability, her area of effects, magic damage ability, and then copy that with Faceless so that we could get the magic penetration from Faceless and Aurora's ult. But you could also use Faceless to copy Leon or Celeste, or I used Jorgen a lot in that team, and magic penetration artifact. So it's nice. That's why a lot of people really recommend leveling up the artifact weapons first. Now, that being said, there are some specific heroes that you would not want to level up all the way, like Isaac, for example. You don't want to max Isaac's artifact weapon. There are some heroes that you want to level up their different artifacts first, and I'm speaking specifically about Heidi. Heidi is a great counter to, and thanks to Knuckler, if you're watching, for pointing this out, Heidi is a great counter to Dante lines. So leveling up his intelligence ring first is actually incredibly beneficial because dodge factors in main stats. And if Heidi's main stat is high enough, the dodge chance is lowered. Of course, it's all RNG anyway. Now, we take a look at that and then we compare it with the upcoming Weaving Pattern events. So Weaving Patterns is this event where we really want to level up our flags and our patterns, right? This is a different kind of way to modify your heroes, and this event is currently a time gated event. So you have this hero resource event in Legacy of the Great Ones. Wow, it's right in front of me. I don't know why I keep blanking on the name. Legacy of the Great Ones. Artifacts have been around for a while, and there's a ton of team synergy with which artifacts you're leveling first, and there's no right answer, right? We can discuss at a specific hero level based on team, but there's no right answer on which artifacts to level first. They're all very impactful. The patterns and flags that you level up with Weaving Patterns, it's an uncommon event. I don't want to say it's a rare event because we're having the event I think once a month, Weaving Patterns, and the rewards, among other things, are the golden thread, which you need to level up your flag patterns. And they're intentionally time gating this resource. They're intentionally time gating or very high cost gating the flags, the patterns, and the way you level up the patterns. because it's a new activity. Eventually, we're going to get to this point that you'll be able to level up basically any pattern that you want at will. You're just going to have to spend a little bit of time doing it. We're kind of at that phase already, but the big difference is the flags and the patterns, they don't have as much of an impact, but they still do have an impact. You need to pay attention to what you're looking into. Specifically, and I want to give a shout out to a comment on a video. I posted this which flag pattern to level up first video this morning. It's a discussion that we had on Thursday's live stream last week, and I want to give a shout out to Samuel's comment right here. Now, I made the statement that I believe that the health reduction is the best one because you can use it literally in every fight. The tank boosting flag doesn't work if you don't have a tank, and the pet boosting flag, I feel like the changes that it gives you are marginal. So I like the health reduction flag. But going beyond that, I think the patterns is where it really matters. The point that I tried to make was we see a lot of physical attacking teams, because they're popular, armor, dodge reduction, and magic attack to do more damage to those physical attacking teams, to those dodgy boys, right? But Samuel called this out right here. If you're building a physical attacking team, now in my example, I'm using a magic attacking team or a pure damage attacking team. The video and the blog post that I made is in reference to the immense amount of Ishmael and Dante teams that I'm seeing right now. They do exist. Mage teams. They do. You're seeing Amira more and more. Iris obviously is a little bit modified by magic attack. You are seeing a lot of that stuff more. Iris's damage isn't magic damage though. So if you are building a physical team, like a Kark team or a Dante team or a Ishmael team, Kira team, something like that, the dodge reduction pattern becomes the most important. And then I would say, instead of the magic attack, do magic defense, right? You could consider doing the physical attack flag, but I don't think it's as important as the magic defense flag could be. So I just found it interesting, and I thought a lot about it today whenever I was doing my cardio. The conversation between what artifacts to level and all of that, and the availability of artifacts and all of that, the red tier essences, scrolls, and medals, compared to the only 5 patterns that we have, right? There's only 5: the armor, magic defense, physical attack, magic attack, and then the dodge reduction. And the 3 flags that we have access to. I think it's a very interesting, very nuanced discussion that you cannot. And the point I'm trying to make here is I made this video, I made this blog post, and it doesn't work for everyone. And just like anything else in this game, it seems like there's so many different variables just so many different points of view you can look at in this game that be like, okay, so this is the best, this is the most efficient. Yeah, but what about this? And there's so many yeah, but what about this? There's so many exceptions. Magic defense pattern at high levels of suicide with Isaac Rufus on the same team. Changed my mind. Yeah, okay. So again, team specific. I wouldn't want to level up the magic defense pattern if I used a hero like Isaac or I used a hero like Rufus, for sure, 100%. But you wouldn't necessarily bring Isaac to counter Amira, right? Amira doesn't do any magic damage aside from her one big hit, right? That's the cool thing about Amira is she doesn't care about Isaac, really. She doesn't care about Isaac aside from her one big damage hit, which at that point the damage has already been done for Isaac to slow you down. So in that team, you need that magic defense. And Amira is another great example. I know I'm talking about her a lot, but we see her a lot. We see her almost as much as we see Ishmael and Dante nowadays. And she without having magic penetration stacking heroes like Polaris or Faceless or Arachne, any of the other magic penetration artifact heroes, she almost doesn't do enough damage, right? Having that 25% magic damage reduction could be huge, or 25% bonus magic defense, whatever it looks like. You said for Heidi intelligence, so he dodges more. Do you mean book intelligence points gives 1 magic defense, 3, so no dodge? Jiv, no. Dante's dodge is based on your hero's main stat. I know that intelligence doesn't give dodge, everyone. I don't want him to dodge more. I want him to be dodged less. Specifically, if you're dealing with a Dante in the first line. Yeah, but you're right. If I'm trying to get Heidi's dodge higher, then obviously I need to focus on the book. Yeah, Samuel made a great point on Thursday during the discussion. We had a big discussion about flags and patterns on Thursday, and he made a great point about the pet flag that I've been thinking a lot about. I still am not convinced that it's strong enough for me. For me personally, for what I use, I don't think it's. Heidi doesn't care about dodge though. He has pure damage. He still does basic attacks though. But yeah, Sam, you're right. You're right.